Corey Michael and I met years ago through my wife, they went to church together, and she met him and connected with him there, who also knows Amanda Lawson. He's local here in the community, and he's a former pastor. I'm sure he'll tell you guys a little bit about that in his presentation. But I had the honor about, I don't know, it's probably been almost 4 years now, maybe a little bit more than that, of actually working side by side with him in my agency when I was in the building phase and really trying to ramp things up. And he brought so much value to me and to what we were doing and to the mission that we had set. At that time, it was called Adrian Graphics and Marketing. And he had brought so much value as a designer, as a creative. And there's just something different about him. There's a presence about him. There's this kindness about him. And there's just this gentleness that I feel every time I get on the phone with him. And so over the years, not only has he become a colleague and somebody that I look up to as a friend and a mentor, but he's also somebody that I look at to as a person that is a Christ follower and as a dad. He's got 2 kids, and he's an amazing dad. So he's just a really great example of what it means to be a fully well-rounded creative designer, man, husband, and father. He's here today, and I'm so excited for him to speak to you guys and teach you what he has. I know his presentation is absolutely amazing.
How to make money by making a difference. Not while making a difference, but by making a difference. And that is different. Yeah, well, first of all, Adrian, I'm super pumped to be here. And the timing is in God's hands. So it worked out for this time, all good. And just really thankful for you. Just a background for everybody. So yeah, I was a pastor at a church. I was on staff for 10 years at a church in the area. I oversaw media, marketing, communication, IT, technology. I was an associate pastor, so I spoke often. I oversaw all sorts of ministries as well. But my background also is specifically graphic design. I've literally done graphic design since I was in kindergarten with a Windows 3.1 machine. And so any of you kind of millennial Gen X age will remember those real old school. And there used to be this greeting card making program that was a Beauty and the Beast program. And you used to like choose your character and your border and like between purple and black. And like I used to print those out and just like change the design of them a little bit. And so that's kind of how I first started. Have been really involved with different creative aspects from illustration to photography, photo manipulation. I learned HTML. I taught myself HTML in 7th grade. So really kind of a long history of creative work. And in 2018, I left my position at the church to start an agency. And that was when I first kind of got involved with helping Adrian out with what he was doing. And I owe a lot of my success in business to him, just giving me a place to land when I stepped out of that role. Felt like it was God's calling on my life to do this and just start this business. So now I'm married 7.5 years. I got 2 beautiful little girls, Evie, who's 4, and Lily, who's 2. And yeah, we're stopping at 2 as well. No 3rd kid. My wife is like, no, thanks. I was like, okay. But yeah, so that is a little bit about me, and I'm really excited to be here today. I've been part of the infographics group for a few years now since it really started, and I'm excited to be able to just do my best to add value to your life and kind of speak from my experience and how I have grown my business over the last 4 years. It is called Holy Shift Creative Studio, and we really operate as the creative partner for purpose-driven companies and causes. So that's not exclusively like churches or nonprofits, although that is definitely a part of our client base. But really, we look to serve companies that are just trying to do good in the world, and we help them look good doing it. So for the purpose of today, there's a couple key words I want to kind of start with this. My tagline of the purpose paradox, which is the title of my presentation, is how to make money by making a difference. Not while making a difference, but by making a difference. And that is different because there is this idea that you can't make money and have purpose at the same time. Sorry, if you could go back a slide real quick. I want to talk just a second about making a difference. When I'm talking about making a difference and being purpose driven, those are kind of interchangeable today. So, and I'm trying to unpin myself here so I can see my presentation a little bit bigger. Here we go. And so there's really a few different ways to describe making a difference and being purpose driven, but it's being focused on making a positive impact on the world beyond simply generating profits. And that might feel a little bit like a duh to some people, because it's like, well, yeah, of course I want to make a difference in the world. But it's hard to actually assign actual like numbers or tasks or practical items to what that means. And so real simply, purpose-driven businesses, you're guided by a set of values and a mission, right? You have conviction about what it is you're doing. Being purpose-driven is agnostic. It can literally mean anything that is related to improving the lives of those you serve. And you're infusing your purpose into all aspects of the business, including the products, the services, the operations, and the marketing. So just use that as the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about today. You can go to the next slide. To go back to this, what the purpose paradox is, it's really that the paradox is that businesses that make a difference also make money. And this challenges that traditional view of the relationship between purpose and profit, because for a long time, people have thought, well, you can only have one or the other. I mentioned that a minute ago. But what I began to think about as I built my own business was, who made up that rule? who wrote the rules of business like that? You can only have one or another. Life is not so black and white like that. There is definitely gray area and overlap. And, so the idea is that businesses succeed. You can measure different levels of success by making a difference, not just by how much money you're making, by how many clients you're serving, but like, how are the lives of the people that you're impacting? Purpose and profit are not mutually exclusive. They absolutely overlap. And that is something that I've talked to a lot of people who have difficulty understanding how that could possibly be. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. And then businesses succeed really by taking a broader view of the world and seeing our place in it as small businesses, as creative freelancers, as people that are just trying to make a difference. And this is the way that we have the slice of the pie of through our business. Go to the next slide. So one thing that I've noticed, particularly with creatives, because we are creative, we're visionary, we want to express our creativity, but we want to serve people. Being purpose-driven really seems to feel like a luxury for creative professionals more than anything. I remember a couple of weeks ago, I posted on my Facebook, I said, would you consider your business to be purpose-driven? And I got several people that commented, including a couple people in here, that were like, I've never really thought about that before. It doesn't seem realistic. It doesn't seem like something I have the time or energy to do right now, because I'm just trying to make ends meet. And so for a lot of people, there's limited resources. You have only a finite amount of time, money, staff, and it can be difficult to be purpose-driven, make a difference. You're just like trying to get the next client so that you can feed your family or yourself, or rent in these outrageous rent prices and home mortgages and everything. And so you're like, okay, I don't have that luxury to just choose the clients I want to work with that I'm totally aligned with. There's that short-term pressure of just needing profits to survive right now. You don't maybe have a lot support. You have a lack of support where you maybe get on track to serve in a way that you're really passionate about, but you don't have people coming alongside of you to keep encouraging you and to bring accountability. That's why the group infographics is great, by the way, for something like this. But these kind of limiting beliefs often keep us from pursuing a business that we are actually proud of being a part of. It can feel like it keeps us from doing what we initially started a business to do. A lot of you probably have worked 9 to 5s, still work 9 to 5s, work for corporate America perhaps, and you're like trying to do this side hustle thing or turn this into a legitimate business. And you're like, I want to serve people. I want to help people through my creativity. I want to bring people joy, whatever it may be. And it can feel like it's hard to get to that point. You can go to the next slide. But this is why it is a paradox. This is exactly the reason why we're talking about this today, because being purpose-driven does not mean you have to sacrifice your profitability for aspiration. It means taking the products and the services that you're already offering to people and connecting it to an outcome with a greater good. Sorry, I need to switch my my earbuds are dying here real quick, so I'm just taking these out. Basically, what you're already doing is good enough to assign purpose to if you have a future vision of where you're trying to lead people. If all you're trying to do is just, I'm just going to make the graphic, or I'm going to make the video or make the website, and that's it, I did my duty, and now you are on your merry way, like, that's not really fulfilling. That is transactional in nature. When I first started my business, I actually did not have a plan to start a business. I was thinking I was going to work for Apple or something like that. I'm an Apple fangirl. I got all the Apple things. I wanted to work in an environment that's like technology, creativity, cool people. And because when I first left my position at the church and I began to operate this really just freelance graphic design was how I started. It was largely transactional at first. And I was like, I'm just going to be stuck behind a computer all day. And I'm a people person. I'm an extrovert. I need to talk to people. And when I made the shift of going, wait, I don't have to be like that. I can actually make this more than just making a graphic for somebody. When I began to then take all my skill sets and my passions and everything that drives me, the technology, the care for people, the creativity, and turn it into a business that serves people, that's when I would begin this purpose-driven approach to my business, where I was able to connect what I was already doing to a greater good that began to grow my business crazy, exponentially more faster than I could have ever possibly imagined. And so that's why this is a paradox. And so if I could encourage you in one thing, and it's, don't feel like just because you're working on projects right now that aren't exactly aligned with who you care about, what you care about, does not mean that you can't still have a purpose-driven approach to how you serve people and who you serve. We can go back to the slide deck now. I just had to go on a little tangent there. We can go to the next slide. And so what does that mean? What does that mean to have greater good outcomes? Well, if you think about the kind of service that you're providing, especially in the beginning, like you're thinking about, how am I going to formulate my business in the next 6 months? How am I going to develop my offerings, my package offerings, and bring value to people through this offer that I create? What do greater good look like? Well, there's a number of different ways this can look like for you, and this really is kind of based on how you're wired. And so there's examples like greater good can be helping people have a stronger sense of a personal well-being. It can help people feel love and belonging, or getting community together, or ecological sustainability, family, physiological needs, religion and faith. Just bringing pure joy and entertainment to people, storytelling, health and wellness, hospitality, safety and respect. These are all examples of ways that you can connect your products and services to helping bring people to one of these places. And the easiest way, in my experience, to figure out what those should be for you is what are you personally passionate about, kind of based on your life, your experiences that maybe are areas of struggle for you growing up, or now that you have a lot of experience in, you've overcome a lot of barriers and self-limiting beliefs that you can now help people get through the same thing. So I'll tell you, for me, my kind of some of my biggest areas of challenge growing up and through into my beginning part of my adult life were feeling a sense of belonging, having issues with family dynamics, like my extended family, and wanting it to be whole, and then identity. And so for me, those are three areas that I am passionate about. I know intimately. I've done a lot of hard work between counseling and Celebrate Recovery, and mentors and peers to help me get to a place where, like, man, I can use these skill sets and passions and apply them to my business in helping other business owners, and CEOs and chief marketing officers, whoever it is I'm working with, side hustlers, to connect their dots to how they make money and help them assign purpose to what it is they're doing. So that is hopefully just a way for you to kind of think about how you can start converting your product offerings into a greater good outcome. We can go to the next slide here. So the reason why there is a paradox as well is that profits it's kind of a short-term game a lot of times, but there is a long-term effect to this purpose-driven approach. You can attract better clients who share your values and are willing to pay more. When there's the phrase, I believe it was from Bob Berg from Go Giver. People will buy from you that know, like, and trust you, right? And so if you're aligned with clients that you're working with, and you have the same kind of greater good outcome ideal, and you're packaging your offer in a way that makes sense to your ideal target audience, like, you're going to get more aligned people that are also willing to pay you more because you are in alignment. You build stronger relationships with the clients, leading to repeat business and referrals. You command higher rates because of your unique combination of skills, experiences, and values. Like, people will hire you because you are you, even if you do the exact same thing as the web shop down the street, or the freelancer that somebody could find through Design Pickle or something like that, right? People will come to you because of you being you. You can increase your productivity and motivation because you're passionate about your work and making a difference. I am so passionate about what I do. I could work 16-hour days if I didn't have a family. It's a good thing I have a family because otherwise I would just be working all the time. Not because I'm a workaholic necessarily, but because I just love what I do between brand development and graphic design and helping people with that kind of stuff. And then this reduces your stress and burnout because you're actually doing work that you believe in. The next slide. So as you are considering all these things we've been kind of going through, and you're like, okay, I've got the what and the why, but now I need to start evolving my business into this kind of purpose-driven approach, which, by the way, when you go through this process, this is going to help set up pretty much everything that everybody else is going to be talking about today, all the other presenters. But there's this purpose paradox framework that I've come up with that I just say DAAM. Is define, align, amplify, and measure. And we're just going to go through these quickly because they're pretty simple. But yeah, Holy Shift, Creative Studio, and DAAM, they just kind of play on words of each other. But we can go into the first one with define. And define, really, this is defining what your business purpose is. And this is a quick little framework for you to kind of start figuring it out. Start by thinking about what you and your business does best. Like, why do people come to you? What is it that people pay you money for? In our infographics call yesterday, we actually talked about, like, what one skill set or two skill sets are making you the most money. So that's part of it. But then also just, like, what are your soft qualities? Like, are you, people told me I have a peaceful presence, which I appreciate that. I think I'm a little more erratic at times, but, like, what are the things about you that you can serve your clients best with? What problems do you solve? What needs do you meet? What makes your business, your personality unique? And then once you have a good understanding of those kind of core value proposition pieces, write them down so you can start to draft your purpose statement. And this is really kind of a general template that you can use to write out your purpose statement. This is not something typically used for like short and sweet marketing statements. This is like you can tell somebody in an elevator what you do. The template right here, I would encourage you to either write it down or take a quick screenshot. Again, there's lots of ways to kind of approach this, but it's company name, exists to solve a problem or meet a need for target audience by unique value proposition. And I have a few different examples of this for you on the next slide. That to just give you an example of two businesses that you will definitely know about, and then mine. So examples of purpose statements. Pixar exists to create innovative and heartwarming animated films for families and film enthusiasts by using cutting-edge animation technology and storytelling techniques to create movies that are both visually stunning and emotionally resonant. Okay? Simple, straightforward. You do not need to be clever with this. For the love of God, do not be clever with your purpose statement. This should be clear and concise. Canva empowers everyone to design anything beautifully by providing an easy-to-use design platform with a wide range of templates, tools, and assets. Okay? Again, like this, and I use a couple of creative companies here for you to help wrap your mind about what it is we're talking about. And so Holy Shift Creative Studio, my company, helps purpose-driven companies and causes make a lasting impression with unlimited top-tier graphic design services that ensure brand consistency and scale creative needs to match growth. One sentence, it explains who you are, what you do, how you serve people. And if you go to the next slide, there's a few reasons why we structure these things in this way. Sorry, could you go to the next slide? You want something that is clear and concise and inspiring and is authentic to your company and its values. Like, I know you're watching this right now. You are not just trying to make money, right? Like, you want to be helpful to people. You want to change lives. In fact, you probably feel like I have a service that I know changes lives, and I feel like I'm doing a disservice to people by not talking about it, but I don't know how to approach the kinds of people I actually want to work with. The purpose statement helps you keep on track so that you can have a clear path forward. And this is something that should be your clients, your customers, your team members, your employees, and others can get behind. And you write this out. I'm a former pastor, right? So I use Bible verses occasionally. And there's one particular in my business, and there's one particular from Proverbs 29:18, and it says, where there is no vision, the people perish. And in Habakkuk 2:2, it's write the vision down and make it plain. You have to actually write this out. Put it on your mirror, put it on your whiteboard, stick it on, post a note on your computer, and keep going after this idea of how you are driving your business. There's an example of Patagonia at the bottom here as well. Of their purpose is to build the best product, cause no unnecessary harm, and use business to inspire and implement solutions to the environmental crisis. Great, awesome. We can go to the next slide. So second is align your business operations with your purpose. Once you've defined your business purpose, make sure that everything you do is aligned with that purpose. This includes your products and services, marketing and sales strategies, and company culture. And basically, you're making sure that the things you're offering are designed to solve a real world problem or meet a real world need or a desire. And that can be super practical or as aspirational as you want it to be. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to try to change the world. You just have to aim to change someone's world, because if you try to serve everyone, you're going to serve no one. So that's why you want to have this focused approach and be transparent about your purpose and how you're working to achieve it. Let people know. Don't be afraid of how you're wired and how your business operates. And then when you get to a place where you can hire team members and employees, like, make sure they're passionate about that same purpose, committed to the same vision of making a difference. Next slide. Amplify your journey. It's important to be transparent and authentic about your purpose. This means being honest about your motivations and your goals. And now don't hear me say that the desire to make money is bad, because that is definitely not what I'm saying. When you're wanting to use it to be generous and to give back and to provide for your family and to provide your good life. Maybe you, like me, grew up in a poor or middle class, lower middle class family that did not have a way to make ends meet very much, and there was a lot of lack, like, you can be honest about your motivations. Like, I want to live well. I want to live comfortably. That's okay. But share your purpose story with your clients and your followers and your partners in business. Be transparent about even the progress towards achieving your purpose. One of the things that I love to do with like the infographics community, for example, is put some thoughts out there. I was kind of revamping my tagline a couple of weeks ago, and just refining it a little bit. And I put it out there and say, hey, here's what I'm trying to do. Here's how I'm trying to kind of come across to people, make sure the messaging is right, and got a lot of great feedback. And being open to feedback and constructive criticism will help you continue to refine and iterate on this journey. And then the last part of the framework here is to measure your impact, and it's important to be able to actually be able to measure what you're doing, because this reinforces your commitment to your purpose and encourages you that you are making a difference. So the way you kind of track, like, our creativity and purpose-driven approaches are kind of hard to assign metrics to if you're not thinking about it in terms of kind of a larger kind of approach. But identify key metrics that align with your purpose. Like, for me, I'll give you a personal example. One of the goals of my business is every year I want to be a charitable donor towards 5 companies and causes, more often nonprofits that are doing good in the world, that are a little bit kind of outside the box, not just like a standard like give food to homeless people or things like that, although those are great. But just people meeting some really unique needs. So my company gives towards these different causes, and we add 5 on every year. That is a way that my company measures impact. You can track your progress over time with certain tools that help you visualize your progress. A Google spreadsheet, really easy way to do it, or a Google Doc or something like that. And there's other tools out there as well. And then just being transparent about your successes and your challenges. Lastly, the thing I want to say is doing good does not mean, it's just kind of a recap, does not mean you can't make both an impact and income, because those two are not mutually exclusive. Purpose-driven businesses in the long term are more likely to be successful. There's a growing body of study and research from places like Stanford and other independent research firms that are showing this to be true, because consumers, especially right now, the crazy world we're in, consumers are increasingly looking to support businesses that share the same values as them. So my encouragement to you today is to write your purpose, embrace your purpose, and then use it to achieve that sustainable and authentic growth. And that's really how you're going to be able to make money, by making a difference. So I hope this was helpful for you. Real simple. I didn't want to make this complicated, but I believe that if you're watching this, you are purpose-driven. Maybe you don't know it yet. Maybe you haven't been able to contextualize it before. But as you grow your businesses, and this is true of whether you're a side hustler or a CEO, sometimes we just need a little bit of realignment and refocusing on what that is. So thank you guys. Appreciate your time today, and would love to connect with you online. You can find me Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. Thank you, Adrian.